Hi there, welcome to your practice. We're going to start this one seated. You might like to sit up on a blanket or something higher to be a little more comfortable. You can take one hand under one hip, move the skin out and back. Same thing on the other side. And your legs don't have to be crossed. Mine are though. You can just extend your legs or whatever you would like. So we're going to start here by just taking a little time to check in with your breath as it is. You can close your eyes or just find something to focus your gaze on. If there's any little soothing gesture you sometimes offer yourself, I just noticed I was organically rubbing a circle on my knee, around my knee, on my thigh, which is something I do sometimes. So I'm going to just keep that going a little bit. If you don't have that, you're welcome to just be in stillness. Nothing to change or do. We're just starting to open the door to our practice here. When you're ready, you can bring one or both hands to the heart, continuing to breathe at your own pace. And we're just going to do some check-ins around the body. So asking yourself here, where or how does your heart need compassion? And just see what arises. Sometimes the compassion is in this gesture that you're offering of hands to heart. It doesn't have to be anything else, but it might arise in a word, a phrase, maybe a movement you want to make. We're not looking for any, not even right answers. We're not even necessarily looking for answers. We're just checking in. So we can be with what is here. So when you're ready, we'll move and we're going to bring hands to the belly. Breathing again at your own pace. Where or how does your body need compassion? So that includes belly, but it doesn't have to only be. We're checking in with the whole body here. And you, of course, can always move your hands to another part of your body. Now, if you have on glasses, you can just take them off and set them beside you. Maybe rub your hands together, generate some heat between the hands. And we'll place the hands over the eyes, breathing here and asking, where or how does your mind need compassion? And when you're ready, we'll bring the hands to the back, just wherever they will organically land that's comfortable. And checking in and asking here, where or how do you need more support? And then when you're ready, you're going to return to one of those areas. So mind, body, heart, support. And send it a little extra love. So wherever you felt like, oh yeah, I really need some compassion or some support in this area, that's what you are going to go with. So we'll just rub hands together, generate a little energy and heat between the hands, and then return to that chosen area. Maybe lengthening your exhale a couple times as you breathe here. Letting the compassion you wish to offer yourself be in your hands. Radiate from there into your body, your mind, your heart. The support that you need, your foundation. When you're ready, if your eyes are closed, you can softly begin to open them. And we're going to move into some movement now. And I'd like you to just keep this area in your mind as we go along, just checking in with it throughout the practice. And I'll remind you and invite you, but you can also do the same for yourself. So we're going to take the legs wide here and bring blocks on either side of the right leg. You might like to move the skin out from under the hips again, now that we've changed positions, unless you were already in this position. We're just going to take the hands to the legs and start to seesaw a little bit side to side. So you can reach down towards the ankle. Sometimes I like to sync this up with my breath. So inhaling one side, exhaling the other side. But you can find your own rhythm. Next time you're in the center, we'll stay there. And then we're going to turn toward the right leg. So you can bring your hand to the belly, move the belly down towards the pelvis. I just kind of tucked mine in a little bit there. And you can start with the blocks. I like to start mine high and then change them. And we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, start to fold forward. So you might move the blocks as you go. What is guiding this is the length of the spine and how it's feeling in the leg. So if you get to a point where you're like, "Ugh, on my hamstring," then stay there. And we want to maintain the length in the spine. So you can support yourself with blocks in any way here. You could bring hands to the floor. What we're looking for is what best supports you in this position. And then we're just going to breathe into the space. So the space of the elongation of the spine, the space you might feel being created in the back of the leg. Now, if you like, you can let the back round a little bit. You might adjust your blocks. Different position. Still breathing at your own pace. When you are ready, I'm going to slowly come up. And from here, we're going to take a twist to the right. So you can lengthen your spine where you are and begin to twist to the right. I'm just going to take a block in one hand and bring it with me. You might like to grab the other one under the left hand. Again, totally up to you on what height and if you use these blocks. But I find for me, it helps me get a little more length in my spine. Keeping the head for now in line with the spine. You might inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, see if any other twist is available. And then if you like, you could turn the head a bit over the right shoulder. But if that's not right for your neck, then skip that part. Your next inhale, we're going to come on back to center. You can bring your blocks with you, and we're going to bring them on either side of the left leg now. So before we start moving, we'll move the belly, and then we'll seesaw a bit again. And just noticing as you go, maybe what, if anything, feels different from the first time. I notice I have some more room to move on my right after we just worked on that side. So next time you're in the center, we'll stay there. And then turn to face the left leg. Get your blocks where you'd like them. We're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left foot is lightly flexed. You're folding forward. Focus is on the lengthened spine. So seeing what works for you on this side. It's not available for me to go as far on this side, so I am supporting myself a bit differently. Most of us will find at least something that is different on this side. Taking a moment while we breathe here to check in with whatever you had chosen to send a little extra compassion. Maybe doing that now, or even sending yourself some compassion in this position, in the differences side to side. Sometimes I feel like the inner critic can jump in and say, why isn't it the same on the other side? And well, the answer to that is because this is a human body and it's not the same side to side. Now, if you like, you can round the back, maybe change your support a little bit. Breathing into the spaces that have been created. And on your next inhale, we're going to come on up and then begin our twist to the left. So using the blocks, if you like. Lengthening the spine. I find that when we are not showing ourselves as much compassion, then there's a tendency for the body to get compressed. And so what we've been doing by creating this space is just creating a little room for compassion to come in, for our bodies to remember that space is available. You might inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, just a little more, only if you find the room for it. I feel like you might look a little over the left shoulder. And then we'll come on back to center. Now from here, we're going to come on up to standing. So use compassion. See if you can stay with yourself as you come on up. So one of the ways that helps me come up with a little more support and compassion is just using my blocks. So I like to press my hands down, then come around to the knees. You can move whatever might be in your way. And then just use that support of the blocks to come on up, taking your time. So once you are up, we're going to come to stand just a few inches in front of the blocks. And take a moment to rock a little forward and back, side to side. Maybe pick up all your toes. Press down under the root of the big toe, pinky toe, center of the heel. Place the toes down. A little micro bend in the knees. You can turn your palms to face forward. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Really feeling out from feet to crown, through the edges of the rib cage, sides of the body, out through the fingertips, feeling that spaciousness. When you're ready on an inhale, we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge to the right. So keeping especially the left foot in contact with the ground. And then we're going to, on your next inhale, come to center. Bring the palms together. As we go, we're going to pass the hands by the eyes for the mind, by the heart, by the belly for the body, folding forward. Now, you can adjust the blocks as you like. Next inhale, come halfway up. Exhale and fold. Next inhale, we're going to step the right foot back into a lunge. We're going to gently bring that back knee down. Now you can always grab your blanket here and put it under your back knee for some extra support. I'm already on 2 mats, so I'm good. I'm just going to stay here for another moment. Bring some space into the front of the hip. Then we're going to shift the hips back so you can bring the left knee to join. We're going to do a little cat-cow. So you could do this with hands on blocks. It creates a little different sensation when you have some more space. Or you can remove the blocks and bring hands to the mat. So it's inhale, belly drops, head lifts. Exhale, tuck chin to chest, round the back up. Let's do 2 more. Now we're going to take the knees wider, send the hips back towards a child's pose. So again, you might find, I have a little more space to not feel suffocated by my chest if I'm using my blocks. But if you prefer, again, please bring hands to the mat. You could also do puppy pose, which is just kind of like in between child's pose and down dog. Hips are just up a little bit more. Let's take 1 more breath here. Then we're going to come up. If you're using blocks, you can press down and use them to help you come up. And we're going to come to standing on the knees. We're just going to reach the arms up overhead. So getting really long here, through the arms, up, out, through the fingertips. Inhale, exhale. We're going to tuck the toes under. Inhale, reach really long. Keep your left arm reaching. Bring your right hand back towards the right heel. Maybe you find it, maybe you don't. It doesn't really matter. And then we're going to come back. Now from here, hands to the hips, we're going to start to shift into the left knee. Take the right leg out. Now, the position of the foot is just going to depend on your leg. So you can have the toes pointing up. You can have the toes pointing in a little bit, foot flat. We're going to inhale, left arm up, get that length again. As we exhale, hinge to the right. So before we made this motion from standing, now we're doing it from kneeling with a little different leg position. Your right hand can be anywhere, just not directly on the knee. We don't want to press into our knee. We're going to come on up. From here, bring the right knee in. And we're going to come back to hands and knees, this time without the blocks. We're just going to take the right ear towards the right hip, making a C shape here. Now from here, we're going to come down to the belly. Hands are under the shoulders. I'm going to begin to lift the sternum. So you're coming up just a little here. It's coming so much from the back that you can almost just lift your hands up for a moment. Now we're going to slide elbows under the shoulders. Breathing here. You might like to tuck the toes, walk the legs back, make a little more space. And just notice, if you're having any, what your inner monologue is. And if you notice any ways you could bring in some extra compassion, this is a great time to do it. We're going to bring hands back under the shoulders. Press up to tabletop. We're going to come to down dog. You can grab blocks under your hands if you like, or go from here. Toes are tucked. Lift the hips. Press the hips back. And just pedal a little through the feet. When you're ready, and begin to walk hands and feet towards each other. Fold forward. And then on your next inhale, press through the feet. Come on up. Exhaling, arms by the sides. We'll just give the shoulders a little roll here. Other direction. If there's anything you want to wiggle out, you can do that. And then we'll begin again for our second side. So coming back to stand in front of your blocks, we'll inhale, press through the feet, reach up, exhale, hinge to the left. Keep especially the right foot engaged. Whenever your next inhale comes, come to center, press the hands together, pass the hands by the eyes, the heart, the belly as you fold. Now on your next inhale, come halfway up towards a flat back. Exhale and fold. This time inhale, left foot steps back to the lunge. And go ahead and let that knee come gently to the ground. Staying here for a moment. Chest is lifted. Front knee is not going past the front ankle. If it is, you can adjust your position. And then right knee comes back to meet it. Hands on blocks or not, cat-cow. Let's do one more round. And we come into child's pose or puppy, taking the knees wide. One option I like is to bring my blocks a little closer, elbows to the blocks, forehead toward or to the mat, with my hands pressing together, coming over my head. You ready? We're going to come on up, make our way up to standing on the knees, reaching down through the thighs, up through the arms. Be really long here. Then you can tuck the toes under. I'm going to reach really long, keep the right arm reaching, left arm comes back, maybe to find the heel. And we'll come on up. Now, just for a moment, you want to give the toes a little stretch. You can start to sit down. My big toe is always like, ah! But it's nice to create a little space in the feet, too. When you're ready, we'll come on up. Sometimes the feet want to just kind of pat out after that. So arms come back up. I'm going to take the left leg out. Inhale, right arm stays up. Exhale, left hand to the leg. And we're going to bend to the left. Seeing what works for you on this side. And we'll come on up. Bring the left leg in with blocks or moving them, hands and knees here, tabletop. We're going to take left ear towards left hip, making a C shape on this side. We'll come back to center, making the transition down to the belly. Hands under the shoulders, maybe tucking the toes, walking the legs back. And then you can untuck. This time, elbows are hugging in. We're going to inhale, come up, exhale, come down. So you can bring your head to the mat. I'm not going to, just so you can hear a little better. Finish the one you're on and then do one more. Then we'll again bring elbows under the shoulders. Feeling the front body gently opening here. This is a nice opportunity to send a little extra compassion wherever you might need it in this moment. Or maybe not even need. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm good. I don't need any. Well, where would it be nice to have a little extra? What could you do with some reserves of compassion? Now we're going to bring the hands back under the shoulders. Press up to tabletop. Down dog, your choice, with or without blocks. Of course, this is your practice. You can always skip it, do something else. When you're ready, we'll begin to walk hands and feet towards each other. Pause in a forward bend. Root down through the feet and come up. Reaching up, feeling all that space you've created. Bringing the arms down. We'll just roll the shoulders again. Most of us have a tendency to go one direction. I've now done back twice. So if you have two, you can bring in the other direction. And when you're ready, we're going to come on down to the mat. So you can grab your blanket and come around. We won't be here for too long. We're just taking this as an opportunity to check in. So legs can be in whatever position you like. And take one hand, move the skin out and back. Same thing on the other side. And you can close your eyes for this or just soften your gaze. And let's check back in with that chosen area from earlier. How's it doing? Could it use some reserves of compassion? Or would you like to shift your attention to another part of your body or being? Sometimes once one part of us gets some attention, it can settle a bit, and then another part starts raising its hand. We are all created of so many parts. When you've done that check-in, we're going to move from here to laying down on the back. So you might like to bring your blanket to come under your head. And we're making our way towards relaxation, but we're not going to start there immediately. I mean, we are. It's part of the process, but we're not going straight to Shavasana. That would be a better way to say it. So we're going to begin here with knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and just start to rock the knees a little side to side. As you go, sometimes you might find, oh, I'd like to kind of come on over and stay for a few breaths on one side. So you can do that starting on whichever side you like. And when you're ready, switching sides. We'll come on back to center. From here, you can pick up the right foot. You might just stay here with it hugging in towards the chest, or you can extend the leg to the ceiling, whatever you prefer, and we'll start to point and flex the foot a few times. Now you can circle the ankle, one direction, other direction. Now you can point the toes towards the ceiling with the leg extended. We're going to draw circles on the ceiling. So keeping the hips relatively steady. We'll reverse, go the other direction. And when you're ready, we're going to flex the foot and begin to slowly lower the leg towards the ground. If it starts to bother your back at any point, just bend your knee and bring your foot down. And if it's available, keep reaching through the heel as you bring the leg down, bringing in that length. When you're ready, we'll switch sides. You can bring the right leg in. We'll pick up the left foot and start to point and flex. Again, knee in or leg extended. You can begin to circle the ankle one direction, other direction. Then pointing the toes, keeping the leg long, we'll draw circles on the ceiling. These can be as fast or small, big or slow. Didn't really match up, but you knew what I meant. Coming back to center, flex the foot, begin to lengthen through the leg. The length is really what's guiding this. But again, if it bothers your back at any point, just bend the knee. Reaching long here. You can bring the knee back in. We'll just take a moment here to make any other movements your body is asking for before our relaxation. And maybe your body is ready for relaxation, in which case you can go ahead and start to make your way into whatever position you would like. If you're not there already, we'll all start to make our way into a position that would be nice for you for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Can be nice to bring some support under the knees. You might be in a different position entirely, and that's great too. Wherever you are, we'll return attention to the breath as it is. Maybe feeling the rise and fall of the chest or the belly. And now we'll turn our attention to a bit of a body scan here, beginning with the feet. Checking in with the feet, noticing how they're feeling. And sending some compassion their way. That might be with a thought. Maybe it's with a movement. Maybe it's with giving them some different support. When you're ready, we'll let the feet stay filled with your compassion and move into the legs. So same process, checking in and then sending compassion. Letting that compassion move from the legs up into the hips and the torso. Out into the arms and hands. And up into the shoulders, neck and head. Taking a few deep breaths here. Letting your breath move compassion through all the space you created in your body during this practice. Letting yourself receive it even if you're not sure you are. You don't know if you did it, quote unquote, right. Just letting yourself be with the practice. When you're ready, you can let that gently go and just let your body rest in here for a few minutes of relaxation. Let's take 5 more deep breaths here. After your 5th exhale, whenever that comes, just take a moment to notice how you feel. Maybe breathing out into all those spaces again. You're ready, you can invite some movement back into your body, maybe starting with wiggling fingers and toes. And then making any other movements that would feel good for you. Sometimes it's nice to reach the arms overhead, or bend the knees and rock the knees a little again, side to side. Whenever you are ready, you can make your way onto one side. We'll take a few breaths here. And again, when you're ready, we'll come on up, keeping the chin lightly tucked until you're up. When you're ready, we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart, taking them up to the forehead. May I think of myself with kindness. To the eyes, may I see myself with compassion. To the mouth, may I speak to myself with love. And to the heart, to seal it in, we'll inhale and exhale. You might like to gently bow your head towards your hands, thanking yourself for your practice. May this practice support you in cultivating compassion and bringing it into the rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me.